So as we have seen in the first video, fat molecules, emulsification of fat molecules takes place. In emulsification of fat molecules, what happens? Bile brings about the emulsification of fat molecules. The large fat molecules get converted into small size particles. That is nothing but emulsification of fat molecules. And bile juice is basic in nature, so it turns the food basic. When before the food was acidic, now because of presence of bile juice in it, it turns basic in nature, which is important. This basic nature of food is important for the further process of other enzymes which are secreted by pancreas. For their action, the conversion of acidic food into basic food is very important, and that is done with the help of bile juice, which is secreted by liver. Then the next step of digestion takes place. For emulsification is done. Now the food, as the fat molecules are in smaller size, proteins are partially digested and carbohydrates are partially digested. In small intestine now, what is the condition is, it has partially digested carbohydrates, it has partially digested proteins, and it has small molecules of fats. So now in the small intestine, these three things are present, and now the complete digestion, now these are partially digested nutrients, now their complete digestion takes place. So what happens in their complete digestion? The pancreas, now in small intestine, pancreas secrete its digestive juices, which are called as pancreatic juices. And these pancreatic juices contain three different enzymes. For the digestion of these three things, three different enzymes are there, and that are nothing but, first is trypsin, second is lipase, and third is the pancreatic amylase. So first we have seen salivary amylase, which brings about partial digestion of carbohydrates. And now pancreatic juice is secreted in the small intestine by pancreas, which contain these three enzymes, trypsin, lipase and pancreatic amylase, which brings about the complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats one by one. So how actually trypsin brings about the complete digestion of proteins and convert it into amino acids. We know that the smallest form, the smaller form or the simplest form of protein is amino acid. So now complete digestion of proteins takes place with the help of an enzyme called as trypsin, and it converts the proteins into amino acids. Then lipase brings about the conversion of small fat molecule into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, so lipase brings about conversion of fat into fatty acid and glycerol. So this is its simple most form. It is the simpler form of fats. And pancreatic amylase brings about the conversion of carbohydrates into its most simple form, and that is nothing but glucose. So the simplest forms the smaller form or the simple forms of the nutrients are formed now in the small intestine, that are nothing but proteins get converted into amino acids, fats get converted into fatty acids and glycerols, and carbohydrates get converted into glucose, and the complete digestion of food takes place in this process. And these movements, the movement of food which starts from esophagus and end till the anus, these all takes place by certain muscles which are present on the pipe, on this alimentary canal. So this full, starting from the mouth or esophagus ends to the anus, this full tract is called as alimentary canal. And this alimentary canal, inside this, the food moves by the alternate contraction and relaxation of the muscles which are present on the walls of this tract, and these movements are called as peristaltic movements. So with the help of peristaltic movement, the food starts from the esophagus. So the upper muscles contract and the food gets forwarded. Then again the lower muscles contract and the down muscles relax, and this is how one by one alternate contraction and relaxation is seen in these muscles, which brings about the movement of food in the food canal. So all the organs except liver and pancreas show this peristaltic movement. And here we end with the digestion process. I hope you understood. I'll just take a fast recap on this, that the digestion starts in the mouth. So we will make a small table with this, that which enzyme present in which organ and brings about what. So in mouth, that is salivary gland, it has the enzyme salivary amylase, and which brings about partial digestion of carbohydrates. Okay, then second, it enters in the stomach. In stomach, 3 different enzymes are there, or 3 different substances are there in the gastric juice, and that are nothing but hydrochloric acid, second is mucus, and third is pepsin enzyme. Then this hydrochloric acid kills germs and creates acidic conditions. Then the mucus protect the wall of the stomach, and pepsin brings about partial digestion of proteins into peptides. Okay, then in the food enters in the small intestine. In small intestine, first liver secretes bile juice, which makes the emulsification of fats and creates basic conditions. Then second, pancreatic juice which contains 3 different enzymes. First is trypsin, which brings about complete digestion of proteins. into amino acids. Then second is lipase, which brings about conversion of fat molecules into fatty acid and glycerol. And third is the pancreatic amylase, which brings about conversion of carbohydrates into sugar. So this is how the digestion process takes place. After the digestion process, the third process, that is absorption, starts. And in the process of absorption, these smaller molecules, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol, sugar, water, vitamins, minerals, all these are absorbed by the walls of small intestine. These walls of small intestine, suppose this is the wall of small intestine, is provided with the small finger-like projection inside, which are called as villi. Okay, these are villi, which actually increases the surface area for the process of absorption. That is the function of villi. These are small finger-like projections which are inside the walls of small intestine, and they increase the surface area for absorption. More amount of absorption takes place because of this villi, and all these simpler forms are absorbed as these walls are richly supplied with blood capillaries. So the food enters, or the nutrients enter from small intestine to the bloodstream for its distribution, and the remaining part, whatever the waste material or whatever after digestion, whatever is remaining, is given to the large intestine. Again, in large intestine, such kind of villi are present. Reabsorption of water, reabsorption of, if some nutrients are still remaining, their absorption takes place in large intestine also, and solidification of waste material is done in large intestine. This solid or fluid waste is then go and settle in rectum, and once the rectum is full, it is given out through the anus. So this is how the waste material is also given out of the body, and the absorbed food which is absorbed in the blood is assimilated throughout the body. It is circulated throughout the body. It is given to each and every cell for their different life processes, like for forming new cells, for forming new proteins, for forming new fats. Again, these smaller or the simpler forms of nutrients are used, and the assimilation takes place, and the waste material is given out of the body by the process of egestion, and the total process of nutrition in human beings takes place. This is how the total process of nutrition in human beings is taking place. I hope you understood this. Now we are going to start with a very short but very important part of the lesson, and which is the last part of the topic, and that is nothing but dental care. So how to take care of your teeth, that we are going to discuss in short, which is the last subtopic of this topic, nutrition, that is dental care. So first we will see the structure of tooth here. So tooth is made up of 3 different layers, and these 3 different layers are dentine. Sorry, the last one is enamel. Then the dentine, and then the pulp, which are richly supplied with the nerves and the blood capillaries. So this is the structure of tooth, and this we have to take care, because if the calcium intake is less, the enamel of the tooth is broken down and we cannot chew the food. If the bacterial infection is there, if the food remains in food particle remains in the different parts of the tooth, then the bacterial infection, bacterial growth is there, which will create foul smell to the mouth, or which will not bring about the digestion of carbohydrate properly. That's why we have to take good care of our teeth, that we have to brush them twice a day. We have to use a floss to remove. Floss is a small white color thread like structure, which is actually the medicated string like structure, which is used to remove the particles which are present in between the teeth. That is called as dental floss. Or we have to use the mouth fresheners for removing the bacteria from the teeth and keeping the mouth healthy. So this is how humans can take their nutrition and keep their mouth healthy. Unicellular organisms take their nutrition, then photosynthetic organisms take their nutrition, and then they perform their different life processes. So our next life process is respiration, which we are going to study in our next sessions. I hope you understood the full topic nutrition in this week. And you are going to learn it thoroughly. You are going to learn the question answers thoroughly, and you are going to write the notes. Thank you.